So my first review for BookTube is Adrian Mole. 9 years. Yeah, I can't believe I'm saying that. It's hard to believe so much time has passed since that kid you saw in that video who was in his mid to late 20s, feeling a bit lost and maybe looking for people, made a video. Who was that guy? I didn't know what I was doing. I had an iPhone 5C, a crappy microphone, and a desk lamp. I didn't know how to use iMovie. I didn't know what I was doing. When I first started this channel, it was a BookTube channel. It was never intended to be anything other than me sharing my love of books. And it grew. It changed with me. It evolved into something far more personal and expansive, and along the way, challenges have arisen. That's the thing. I've weathered some of the hardest years of my life on a public platform. I've discovered a version of myself that I'm not necessarily proud of yet because I don't know who this person is yet. He's a bit grayer. Maybe more comfortable in his own skin. But I don't know yet. This anniversary isn't about celebrating milestones, it's about reflection. And from when I started to where we are now, and the really bizarre twists that have shaped my journey. So, like, sub, share this video, tell me what you think in the comments below, and please check out my membership and Patreon options, because there is exclusive content you'll never get anywhere else. And that's true. I do a lot of stuff that is behind certain walls to make it easier to talk, because the gods of Google. When I started on YouTube, it was all about the books. Reviews, wrap-ups, TBRs, and the occasional tag video. At the time, BookTube felt like a community where I could belong. A place I could connect with others who shared my love of storytelling, and yes, I did. I found some great books, some great people, who are still here today, and you know who you are. You've weathered some storms with me. But as time went on, I realised that a lot of the book community is just high school mean girls. It's not about reading, it's not about a love of literature for people, it's about the attention they get. And I've seen those Discord conversations and private group chats. I've been in them. A lot of these people don't make content anymore. A lot of the people I knew when I first started have gone. There was like a little group of us, and we all just drifted one by one. They just disappeared, stopped making videos, made everything private. Thank you guys, if you're out there. But I wanted to explore TV shows and movies and even video games, mediums that carried as much narrative depth and emotional weight as the page. I wanted to talk about movies I love, revisiting a beloved video game, and after everything that went down through 2018 and into 2019, thanks to an internet stalker, that got very weird very quickly, and police were involved. It was a bizarre experience. I genuinely hope that person is getting the help that they need. Despite the pointy sharp object incident. That was a thing. But there is something magical about diving into a video game or a movie or a TV show. Storytelling. I love behind the scenes stuff, and I wanted to move beyond books because it allowed me to embrace all the ways of storytelling. I wanted to break away from that because I felt trapped by it. That sounds bad, but it's true. I felt trapped by BookTube because I didn't feel I could be myself. And if I don't feel I can be myself, I pull away. But this shift, I try to do it subtly, wasn't without challenges. Some viewers resisted the change. Others stopped watching entirely. And I questioned myself, did I make the right decision? Was I abandoning my roots? Do you have roots on YouTube? Was I making a mistake? Yeah, I knew I was moving in the right direction. My content wasn't just evolving, it was becoming more authentic, a reflection of me, and I'm aware of how egotistical that sounds, but it's weird looking at it through different lenses. 2020 happened, and that was kind of the final coffin nail. I thought it would be the creative rebirth of my channel. I would have all the time in the world. And instead, I found myself feeling even more isolated by the black mirror that is social media, YouTube, and people. But a lot of good came out of that. I connected with some great people, not so great people that I regret even giving my time to. That's being honest. And then 2024 happened. If you were to pick a year that tested me to a level that I didn't think was possible, it was 24. Hands down, it was a year filled with not just personal challenges, creativity just dripped out of me in the worst way possible, and emotional lows that very few people will ever comprehend. Life has a way of throwing you these stupid curveballs when you least expect it, and the last year seemed determined to push me to the limits. My mental health broke. Everything broke on a level that I didn't realise would be possible. Whether it was the isolation I felt as a content creator, the struggles of managing a YouTube channel over some algorithmic changes, or some really personal heartbreaks that hurt in a way that I didn't realise they would. Heartbreaks that we're still rolling with. 2024 hardened me in many ways that I didn't appreciate. You can be the villain in someone's story. People can talk about you. People can say what the hell they want. But you know what? I don't care. I stopped caring. You don't know me. You know a version of me. Don't know the person I really am. You just know someone that doesn't like a TV show or a movie, or is the bad guy for dare criticizing something you've made your entire personality. I say be the villain in people's stories. That's how a lot of you found me. Especially in the last year, a lot of you found me that way. So thank you. I realised that the hardships aren't just obstacles. In theory, they should be opportunities to grow, to change, and 2024 forced me to reevaluate every priority I had. I leaned into content that brought me joy, and I made a decision to kind of put my creative stuff on hold. And there was also the big hacking. Someone got into my Google account, even though I don't even know how they did it, somewhere in Bristol, and they took everything down. But luckily, we managed to get it back, mostly. The thing that was lost, my second channel. Well, I'll tell you more about that in a minute, but it was a commentary channel. It was an off-topic channel. It was just a place to talk, and that was it. They reminded me while the internet can be an extremely harsh place, it's also a platform where I can just share my voice, tell my story, and connect with those who resonate with it. There are people that I look forward to seeing in my comments. There are people that I know that have something wonderful to say, and there are people I know that absolutely hate my guts. So, that's fun. Reflecting over those 9 years, that leaving BookTube wasn't easy, but it was necessary. I embraced TV shows, movies, and video games. I found creative freedom I haven't felt in years. It just brings a sense of happiness and a connection that I felt like I'd been missing. I learnt to stop chasing trends and focus on what truly excites me. Whether it's some weird cult movie showing my love of something retro or revisiting a show that shaped my teenage years, I found my rhythm. It isn't just a YouTube channel anymore. It's a place where I can celebrate things I love, things I hate, things I'm indifferent about, without an apology. I'm not sorry for anything I've ever done. It needed to happen, and I don't owe anyone an apology. That's something else I learnt. I don't owe anyone an apology. Maybe my lack of empathy is to do with trauma of 2024, but you just move, change. I'm not who I was. It's weird. Like I said, I don't quite know who I am at the moment. One of the hardest lessons I have learned in those 9 years is not everyone you meet along the way is here to stay. People I trusted who used me, friendships that turned toxic, and communities that become unrecognizable. Letting go of those connections was painful-ish, but liberating. 2024 taught me that life moves on whether you're ready or not. Holding on to what no longer serves you only keeps you stuck. By letting go of those weird toxic friendships and unrealistic expectations, I've made a space for growth, for happiness and genuine connection. I know this sounds quite dark, but I'm very happy that I did it. Like, sometimes you just need that. You need to see what's good in your life, and letting people go is part of that. Around the time I found myself drawn back to my roots, my second channel. Originally commentary, but it got boring. And then I started realizing that I've never talked about things I love. I hid who I was for years. I like trading cards and toys, and as you can see behind me, it's a shrine. I'm not always serious, despite the image that people think I have or the person people think I am. And I just went straight back to my childhood, to your childhood. Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic the Gathering, classic video games. Realizing that these passions were very much alive and I should share them. I wanted a place where I could dive into that more. I wanted a place where I could just talk about this stuff. Channel that I'm not thinking about algorithms. I'm not thinking about anything. If you want to watch it, you can watch it. If you don't want to watch it, who cares? It's just my nerd dump. When I decided to refocus that channel on those nostalgic treasures, whether it was discussions about the Pokemon trading card game, reflecting on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, it allowed me to tap into a joy I once felt when I first discovered those worlds. For anyone who remembers spending hours watching the Pokemon anime, battling out with Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, this is a space for us. It's a place where I can embrace what I loved as a kid and still love as an adult and still get excited by. Creating the second channel also helped me rediscover my voice. While the main channel has evolved, the side project feels like a celebration of the things that shaped me. It's fun, it's personal, and it's exactly what I needed to feel more connected to myself. And I loved every second of it, and I still do. And yeah, I still get excited about Pokemon cards. I'm not joking. These days, I focus on what makes me happy. Whether it's diving into nostalgia, reviewing something, talking about random things, reflecting on my own journey. I've embraced a content style that feels true to me. I no longer worry about fitting into a specific niche or pleasing everybody. My happiness comes first. And that's been the most freeing realization of all. As I celebrate like the 9 years on here, I feel a weird mix of pride and gratitude. The journey has been messy as hell, challenging, rage-inducing, but it's also been incredibly rewarding. I face things that have come close to breaking me, and maybe they did a little. To anyone who has been with me since the beginning, thank you. And to those who joined me along the way, welcome and thank you too. And to anyone struggling to find your own path, I leave you with this. Just a little note that might want to hear one day. Embrace change. Let go of what doesn't serve you. Never stop chasing what makes you happy. And here's to the next chapter. Here's to life. And here's to the adventures we're all going to have. Good, bad, and everything in between.